Today on Everyday Whiskey, we find out if Maker's Mark actually hits the mark or does it miss the mark. Keep watching to find out.
Alright everybody, welcome back to another episode of Everyday Whiskey. I'm Dan.
And I'm Mike.
And this week we are bringing to you the Maker's Mark special. We're doing another vertical tasting. We're going from their original Maker's Mark bourbon all the way to their annual wood finish release with their custom stave profiles, which I just picked up recently. So this is the 2020 release. This is not last year's, which was the RC6. Personally, Maker's Mark is one of my favorite distilleries, so I wanted to do a whole episode dedicated to them. I didn't want to just incorporate the bottles throughout some of the series somehow. So yeah, let's just get right into this thing.
Cool. So first we got the good old-fashioned original. Brand new, never before opened. Small guy because I don't drink Maker's Mark all the time, and I just didn't feel like paying for a full bottle.
Yeah, which is like $35, something like that.
I'm usually on Dan's playing field. If I'm going to buy Maker's Mark, it's usually this guy right here. Spoiler alert. They like the heavily waxed.
When did they do twist-offs? When did that start? Because it's the same thing as the 101. When did they start the twist-offs? Maker's Mark, when did you start doing twist-offs?
Stop doing twist-offs now, please. 1 point deducted.
Automatically. Does it twist back on? Did I fuck the thread up?
I have no idea. You ripped that thing right off. I thought it was corked.
Okay. I haven't had the original bourbon just by itself.
So. I haven't in a long time.
Last time I had this was at a wedding, and I was mixing it with a splash of Coke all night. So, all right.
Screw back on.
Yeah, screw back on.
Oh, good. All right. So this is the original.
Pretty straightforward, classic bourbon nose. And the only thing that is super classic about these guys, they don't use E in whiskey. So that's honestly just an homage to Scotland from what I remember. Yeah. Because I've been to the distillery actually in Kentucky, and it is hands down the most gorgeous distillery I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. There's hand blown glass in the rick house. And it's very extra. It's very extra. But
and are these truly all hand dipped bottles?
Oh yeah. Literally, if you go to the assembly line, there's a picture of Maggie Samuels, mm-hmm. which is Bill's wife. Bill Samuels is the founder of Maker's Mark. And she overlooks the assembly line because it was her idea to dip the bottles in red because every label of bourbon in the 50s looked the same. It was a white label with Johnson Brothers, whatever.
Jim Beam, perfect example.
Exactly. Jim Beam's a classic bourbon label, but that's what every single one looked like. And she goes, oh, well, we need ours to stand out on the shelf. So what do? We hand dip ours in wax so you can see the red from a mile away.
So all those old commercials you used to see on TV of them slowly dipping the bottle,
that's true. It's a 4-second process. It's dip, turn, out.
Yep.
Because
you got to hand dip one actually up there.
Yeah, hold on. Grab that down. Because apparently the way you dip your bottle speaks a lot about your personality, and mine's a mullet.
So yeah, he made a mullet on his, but yeah, he got to hand dip this at the distillery, which is really cool. And this is his favorite bottle too.
Yeah, Maker's Mark 46 is my favorite everyday bourbon. Everyday whiskey.
Everyday whiskey.
Let's taste this.
Let's go for it.
It's a classic bourbon.
It's sweet.
Yeah, I haven't had it in a while, but it's a good bourbon. $35, $40 bucks. That's wheelhouse.
What's the proof on this?
Should be 90.
45%, so 90 proof.
It's still a little hot. I think this is 92. 94 on the 46. It's got a little kick in the ass.
It really does for a 90.
Yeah, and Maker's Mark, their perfect idea of bourbon, or their ideology when it comes to bourbon, and Bill passing on to Bill Jr., and Bill Jr. passing on to Robert, is the first taste of bourbon should be super sweet and very mellow and very easy and kind of
And they emulate that well. Because it's sweet on the
What's the guy on the one YouTube video for the dude from Downmore? Where he's like, hello, nice to meet you.
Oh,
how are you?
Drinks splashes it. Oh man, what is his name?
I don't know.
It's really funny.
He's the master distiller at Downmore.
Yeah, it's really funny. He actually the way he tastes whiskey is to take a sip and then just throw it out. He just dumps it on the ground. Hilarious. I thought it was a parody video at first.
No, he really doesn't.
100%
the guy is super eccentric. No, and you get a nice little cherry note, a little brown sugar.
Yeah.
Then you get the corn heat in the back. Straightforward bourbon. I don't think I need to go any more in depth about that.
No.
So I would say definitely drink this on the rocks. You can drink it by itself. An amazing cocktail whiskey.
It is. Great cocktail. So what's the verdict? Does this one hit the mark?
Hits the mark.
It hits the mark.
I don't think we're going to have any that don't hit the mark.
Yeah, probably not.
We'll see.
We might.
All right, now on to my favorite out of the whole lineup, and I've had pretty much every SKU that they make, or at least I can get my hands on. The 46, I think, is just the quintessential Maker's Mark bourbon.
Yeah,
I think it's
delicious.
well balanced. It's geeky enough as far as their custom stave selections. So Maker's Mark 46. Why the 46? So Bill Samuels Jr. created Cork 46. This was his brainchild. This was the first extension off the original bourbon. So him and Master Distiller at the time, Kevin Smith, basically were working with cooperages to figure out which staves work best to enhance the flavor of Maker's Mark. So what they would do is they would take a barrel of Maker's Mark at cask strength, and they would insert virgin French oak staves into the barrels and sear them. And that's what created the bigger, bolder flavor you get out of the 46, because it's a bigger body, a little darker in color. It's got a little more of that maybe like bready granola note to it. And the stave that was on file that they selected, that was the stave they were going to use, which they put the staves in 9 months before they removed it from the barrel. It was called Stave Profile number 46. So Maker's 46.
And it will say that right on the back.
Yeah.
Of the
So if you can read a bottle, you can do what I just did.
It's good. Despite being a slightly higher proof than their original, this drinks 10 times smoother.
It's just smoother,
a lot more well-rounded.
You get that really big bourbon sweetness up front, and then you don't get the kick in the ass in the back.
No.
Which I don't mind that, but like if you're just trying to like kick back near a fire, like this is like a perfect whiskey.
Yeah, a lot of people when they're just chilling and just trying to relax and enjoy, you don't really look for that heat and that kick in the ass.
It's so sweet.
The Kentucky hug, as many reference it
Kentucky
as.
hug.
Unless you're like crazy like I am, because I kind of don't mind that, but it also depends on the profile.
No, it
the
depends
rest
on
of the bourbon, like Stag Junior.
Yeah,
that
depends on what you want. Yeah.
If it doesn't have a full body and that big flavor going to back it up, I don't really like it.
The whole thing is like if this was this sweet, but then it was a lower proof, like 80 proof, it would be very wispy and like not very. The body would not be good on it, in my opinion. So I think the fact that it is 94 proof and it's a little higher amps it up a little bit, and like to me, like this is the bottle I consistently always buy. This is my everyday whiskey.
Yep.
So like I'm not calling it a perfect bourbon, but it's damn fucking close to me.
It's close.
So I'm not a little biased here.
That's okay. Little bias doesn't hurt anybody.
But yeah,
everyone's got their favorite, and that's the point of this, to help you guys find your favorite. Mine's Eagle Rare.
Yeah, exactly. So now I'm hogging a bit of the conversation just because like
this one hits the mark, by the way.
Oh, mark hits the mark. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna shatter. I'm gonna shatter the fucking glass. I'm doing a little bit of the talking today just because like I'm a fanatic when it comes to Maker's Mark.
Yeah, and he got to visit it. He knows a lot more because he had that hands-on at the distillery education.
Once again, these
I
are
just drink.
Maker's Mark 101. So this is a wheated edition of Maker's Mark. So it doesn't mean that it's 51% wheat. I should have prepped more for the episode, and it has a good percentage of wheat in it, so it's considered a wheater.
Yeah.
Let's put the box on here. So Maker's 101. It just got released like to New Jersey, I think this year as like because what this used to be,
and screw off.
Yeah,
point deducted.
All right, point deducted. So there you go. I love this.
Yeah, you went ahead heavy pouring that.
So cool thing about 101. So when Bill Samuels used to have his personal guests to the distillery, so family, friends, fellow distillers, stuff like that, he would serve them Maker's 101.
Okay.
This was his idea of what a Maker's Mark bourbon should taste like. This is what he wanted people who have never had Maker's Mark before to try the first thing when they went to Maker's Mark.
And I think it's a great representation of their brand, their entire portfolio. Honestly,
and I like how we'll taste the whole thing and and I'll give you like my little spiel at the end of it. But
we'll put them in an order for you, which we recommend. right off the bat, the nose. You get a lot more barrel, a lot more oak on the nose.
Yeah, it's the most. I think it's the most. Not the most wood forward, but it's definitely the most well. It's a very well balanced nose. You get wood and a little cherry and a little brown sugar.
And again, this is the highest proof
the
we've had so far.
Yeah.
Still the smoothest.
Yeah, and we're going in order of proof. So you go 90, 94, 101, 110.
Yeah, and it's incredible how it gets. So far, it gets the smoother the more you go up.
I just love the candy. Like this one is the most candy sweet out of all three, I think.
Oh, definitely.
Correct me if I'm
by
wrong.
far, by far.
And it's like chocolate.
Yeah,
It's like straight up chocolate, and then you get residual wheat note to it. Just because it is a wheated bourbon.
it's good. And again, I'm just impressed at how well rounded it is
For 101, it does not drink.
Yeah.
It does not drink like it's actually easier to drink than your original.
It is. I would, if I didn't know anything about any bourbon at all or proofage, I would assume this is the lower proof one.
Yeah,
It's that smooth. It's that well rounded.
Well, because the original episode I had was we were gonna do like a blindfolded taste test, and we could see if we could pick them out. But like, I guarantee you would have thought that was like
without
the original.
I wouldn't be able to do this on a blind taste.
No, there's only one you might be able to pick out.
Yeah, and All
right, let me just finish this second now.
Yeah, this would be a very hard blind taste test, mainly because the profile is very, very close in all of them. And again, like Dan said, the higher you go, theoretically, it gets smoother and smoother. So I'd be inclined to start. I would probably put this entire thing ass backwards.
Yeah, exactly.
It would not be fair for you to us.
Last tasting note, like it's really like if you had like a Hershey bar and then like sprinkled sugar on top of it, it's so sweet, but it's like sweet in like
a good way.
A good way, because it has a big body to like kind of contain it.
Yeah.
So like once again, if this was a wispier bourbon, this would not work.
No.
But once again, Maker's Mark.
It hits the mark.
Okay. All right, last one is the 2020 Maker's Wood Finish, which is the SE4 PR5. Sorry, it's like
R2D2.
Yeah, it's like which droid are you?
Yeah.
No. It's like a fucking social security number for a bottle.
Right?
So
it's crazy.
This one is 55% alcohol and or 110 proof. These are always I don't know if it's cask strength, but they're always like overproof or barrel proof type deal.
Yeah. So now, when was this barrel?
I might say it on there. I didn't look at it. So basically, every year they release this wood finished variety, and basically you can only get this one time. They only do it one time. There's 12 staves. If you're a mathematician, you can figure out the probability of repeating it, the same stave.
Yeah, I can.
Ordered.
I'm an accountant, but there's a reason I work in the liquor industry.
Basically, at Maker's Mark, they have a separate rick house for 46 and the wood finish.
Yep.
It's kept at 51 degrees year round.
That's awesome.
There's a separate room within this rick house that is
a box within a box within a box.
It's a Daruma doll of a fucking rick house, and it's a glass casing where you can sit down, and if you have $20,000, you can buy your own barrel, and you can handpick each stave that goes into your.
What's that break down to per bottle? That actually sounds like a pretty good deal, honestly.
It's a pretty good deal.
$20,000.
Yeah, I could be wrong. I could be wrong on the number. It could be like 15. It's just
that's a pretty good deal.
But you're looking at 5 digits either way. So they do this program called Pick. It's basically I will call it Pick Your Barrel. But
okay.
So you can basically taste a bunch of different whiskeys where they change the staves out. Each stave is represented by a number and or digit. So SE4, PR5.
Mm-hmm.
Those are each individual. So there's 2 of each of those staves in this barrel.
Okay.
So RC6, it was.
Please don't ask us what these numbers mean because we.
And I don't know which stave means what. You can look it up. You can actually go on the website and it'll tell you what each digit means.
Dan's got the best guess to social security number.
Yeah, pretty much. Just give me your fucking money, your social security number, we'll give you a barrel. No, so instead of you having to go there, they do it for you. Mm-hmm. This is Robert Samuel's homage to a hand-selected cask for the entire country and world.
That's really cool.
So you can only, it is so unique that you can only do this once a year. And
so theoretically, if you want it, you could get a bottle from each year for the past 10 years and have 10 different profiles.
Yeah, I tried the RC6 last year, didn't buy it, tried it. Mm-hmm. Totally different whiskey.
Yeah.
It's like, It is single barrel, but not single barrel. Like it's crazy.
So that's cool.
So yeah, basically they control their taste profile by the staves in the barrel. It's such a cool idea, and no one else does this.
So basically, our review on this is going to be very, very subjective because it's going to change.
Yeah, you can't.
Or is that objective?
Yeah,
I don't know.
you can probably say like last year's was better than this year's, but you can never. Like it's hard to
it's
can't
gonna
really
change.
Judge them. Yeah,
it's gonna change.
Yeah, it's just a cool thing. Like Maker's Mark is so classic and so innovative at the same time that it just that's why I fell in love with them when I got on the ground. And like I forget the girl's name. I wish I remember her name. The tour guy we had, she was the coolest fucking lady ever.
You gotta be cool.
But she had like this like Louisiana accent. She's like, you smell sweet tea when she talked. Like
now, as I was saying. The higher up in the proof you go, the smoother these whiskeys get. This is where we hit that cap. It does not.
Oh.
This is hot. This is really hot.
Oh, that's a mother's hug.
The flavor and the body is not there to back it up. It's hot.
Yeah, it's hot.
It's real hot. And that's really all you get out of it.
So, like, where we could taste, like in the 46 and the 101, where you get, like, a lot of residual sweetness, this isn't there.
No. It unfortunately...
And it just keeps getting hotter and hotter.
You can feel this go all the way down.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm going to reference Stag Junior again, because that's one of the highest proof things we own. That's still smoother than this.
Yeah, I don't know what happened here. And I love Maker's Mark. I'm not going to knock it, but this is a bit of a miss for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
this does not hit the mark,
because the flavor up front is good. Don't get me wrong. Wow. Good. But it's just so intensely hot in the back that it just, whatever achievement we had up front, you flunked your final.
Yeah, and it's only 110. That's not the hottest whiskey we've had on the show.
You may have had A's and B's in the semester, but then on that final, you showed up hungover and just...
That sounds like my junior year.
Yeah, and you just put C for every answer and just, hoped you did good.
When in doubt, see it out.
Yeah. I gotta finish this and do the thing.
Well, no, it doesn't get a class or a client. It missed the mark, unfortunately.
I wish
we'll
we had
we'll do an upside down client.
All right, Maker's Mark, SE4 PR5. Does it hit the mark?
R2D2.
Oh, I got whiskey on my table.
There was some left. Look at that.
All right, well, that's what's bound to happen, I guess.
It's okay.
So, 3 out of 4 is not bad.
No, not at all.
I love Maker's Mark, but god damn, that was hot.
It is. For 110, it's very hot.
Yeah, and like I said, I have other whiskeys that are higher proof and are a little more well balanced, so I don't know. I don't know. It's really weird. Maybe someone else got something else out of this that we didn't, but I think we both had the same.
So I would say buy the 2020, keep it on hand, and next time you're suffering from some severe congestion,
if you get
bad allergies, if you get COVID-19,
just fucking muzzle a bottle.
Yeah, start downing that, and I think it'll clear right up.
You know what I want to do though? I'll do it later tonight.
That's a joke, by the way. Maker's Mark, your stuff is phenomenal.
Yeah. No, it's a joke. I'm sorry. But just that wasn't it for me.
Hit the mark.
So I think some air will do this well. So I'm gonna put a glass out for like 30 minutes tonight.
See what happens.
And then I'm gonna go back on like Instagram. I'll do it on a story or something else.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's still hot.
You know what? We'll record this, which we're currently doing. I don't know why I said that. We'll edit this, and maybe by the time we're done editing, we'll do a little like Instagram story. We'll revisit.
We'll do our first Instagram live. Why the fuck is this so hot?
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
But
whatever stave number SE4 PR5 is, don't use that stave again. Just chug it.
That droid went to the dark side.
Oh, woo!
All right, so but Maker's Mark, I love you. Still my favorite distillery.
Phenomenal product.
Phenomenally.
You're getting a very quality product all across the board, and you're getting a very consistent product.
Yeah, exactly. And in my opinion, the Maker's 46 is damn near the perfect bourbon. Hands down.
I agree.
And on that note...
Well, aside from Eagle Rare, for me personally.
Yeah. On that note, I'm going to say something that I didn't say last week. We need you to do 3 things.
Yes.
We need you to do number 1, we need you to like this video. Number 2, we would love you to comment and or trash talk us because we don't like the 2020 release. And number 3, if you think we are right about the 2020 release, we need you to subscribe.
If you think we're wrong, please subscribe.
Yeah, exactly. So just like, as you can see, we're wrong again.
Yeah, and then you can correct us on
whatever episode we do next, which I don't know what we're going to do next. So, mystery episode. But yeah, once again, Maker's Mark vertical tasting. Keep doing what you're doing, Maker's Mark. I don't think you're going to change because some guys are dirty.
It's a success.
It's a success.
Yes.
Have a great day.
Thank you, guys.